What if I told you that the long-awaited Sony A7V might finally be closer to release than we think? After months of rumors, leaks, and speculation, the pieces are beginning to fall into place. For years, Sony's A7 line has dominated the full-frame, mirrorless camera market, and every new release from the series tends to shift the industry forward. Now in 2025, all eyes are locked on the A7V, and if the leaks are even half true, this camera could very well be Sony's biggest hybrid powerhouse yet. In this breakdown, we're going to take a deep dive into everything we know so far about the Sony A7V rumors, possible release dates, leaked specs, sensor technology, video performance, pricing, and how it stacks up against competitors like Canon and Nikon. We'll also look at what this means for photographers, filmmakers, and content creators who might be considering upgrading their gear in 2025. By the end, you'll have a clear idea of whether the hype surrounding the Sony A7V is justified, or if it's just another round of marketing noise. So stick around, because some of these details could genuinely change how you think about upgrading your camera kit this year. A quick look back, the evolution of Sony's A7 line. Before we get into the latest leaks and rumors, let's rewind and look at how we got here. Sony's A7 series is not just another camera line, it's the foundation of the modern mirrorless movement. Sony A7 III 2018. When the A7 III dropped, it was considered a game changer. With incredible low-light performance, solid 24-megapixel sensor, 4K video recording, and advanced autofocus, all for under $2,000, it completely disrupted the market. Photographers and filmmakers alike flocked to it. Sony A7 IV 2021. 3 years later, Sony came back swinging with the A7 IV. This model brought a new 33-megapixel sensor, advanced processing, more refined autofocus, and improved video features like 10-bit 4.2.2 recording. But along with the improvements came a steeper price tag, pushing it closer to $2,500. Sony A7V 2025. Now, the attention shifts to what could be Sony's next hybrid monster. The big question: will Sony once again push boundaries, or will this just be a price hike wrapped in modest upgrades? This background matters because Sony has built a reputation for redefining expectations with every release. The A7V will either reinforce that dominance or risk giving Canon, Nikon, and even Panasonic an opening to catch up. Sensor wars: what we know about the A7V's imaging power. When it comes to modern cameras, the sensor defines the identity of the product. And this is exactly where the Sony A7V rumors get really exciting. Leaks suggest that Sony is currently testing two potential sensor configurations for the A7V 44-megapixel BSI CMOS, sensor designed for extreme detail, large format prints, and commercial photography, better for studio work, landscapes, and professionals who need every pixel. Slightly slower readout compared to stacked sensors, which could affect burst speed and rolling shutter performance. MP, stacked CMOS. Sensor lower resolution but much faster data readout. Better low-light performance and faster continuous shooting. Aimed squarely at sports photographers, action shooters, and filmmakers who need speed more than megapixels. The decision Sony makes here will essentially define who the A7V is built for. If they go with the 44-megapixel sensor, they'll be catering to detail-obsessed stills photographers who demand maximum resolution. If they go with the 33-megapixel stacked option, it's a signal that the A7V is targeting creators who prioritize speed, dynamic range, and video performance. Which direction would you prefer? As a photographer, I'd love the 44-megapixel for editorial work. But if I were a filmmaker, I'd be rooting for the 33-megapixel stacked sensor all day long. Video capabilities: is the A7V a true hybrid camera? Let's be real. In 2025, if a camera doesn't deliver on video, it's already behind. Content creation, YouTube, TikTok, and filmmaking are exploding, and Sony knows it. That's why the video specs of the A7V are going to be just as important as the stills performance. According to the leaks, 4K 16-bit raw outputs log, 3 and S-gamut 3 color profiles for pro-level grading 5-axis in-body image stabilization with up to 8 stops of correction, advanced autofocus tracking for video, including IAF for humans and animals, possible 10-bit internal recording across multiple frame rates. What does this mean in real-world terms? Filmmakers, YouTubers, indie directors, and even wedding videographers could get cinema-level tools straight out of the box. You won't need to spend thousands on external rigs just to unlock professional video capabilities. Some are hoping for native 6K recording or full-frame 4K 120 FPS. But even if Sony doesn't go that far, the rumored features are enough to make the A7V stand out as a true hybrid camera, something that can shoot both stunning stills and professional-grade video. Design and build quality, what might change? Sony's A7 line has always followed a relatively familiar design language: compact, lightweight, but packed with functionality. However, rumors suggest the A7V could introduce a few design refinements: improved grip and ergonomics for longer shooting sessions, bigger, brighter EVF with higher refresh rates for smoother previews, articulating LCD screen optimized for vloggers and filmmakers, more dedicated video function buttons, reducing menu diving during shoots, better weather sealing, making it a more reliable choice for professionals who shoot in extreme environments. If Sony really wants to win over creators in 2025, improving usability is just as important as boosting specs. Autofocus, Sony's secret weapon. If you've used any of Sony's recent cameras, you already know their autofocus system is one of the best in the world. IAF, real-time tracking, animal detection, and machine learning-driven subject recognition have made Sony the gold standard. The A7V is rumored to push this even further with AI-powered autofocus that learns subject movement patterns, faster and more reliable tracking in low light, expanded subject detection. For both photographers and videographers, this could be a game changer. Imagine shooting a fast-paced sports event or a wedding reception in dim lighting, and the camera simply doesn't miss focus. That's where Sony shines, and the A7V looks ready to extend that lead. Price and availability, will it be worth it? Here's where things might sting a little. The rumored price for the Sony A7V is between $2,799 and $2,199. That places it in the premium category, especially for hybrid shooters who are considering it as an upgrade from the A7 IV add-in taxes, import duties, lenses and accessories, and international buyers could be looking at well over $3,500 to get a working kit. So the question becomes, does the A7V offer enough to justify the premium? For professional photographers, the answer might be yes. Cutting-edge autofocus, higher resolution, and pro-grade video features make it a strong investment. For casual shooters or hobbyists, the A7 IV might remain the smarter choice financially. Sony A7V versus the competition. No camera exists in a vacuum. To understand how significant the A7V could be, we need to look at what Canon, Nikon, and Panasonic are offering in 2025. Canon EOS R6 Mark III, a strong, hybrid option with great autofocus and solid video tools. Canon EOS R5 Mark II, high-resolution beast with 8K capabilities, though at a higher price. Nikon Z6 III, Z7 III, improved ergonomics and image quality, but Nikon is still catching up in autofocus. Panasonic S5 II, S5, IX, popular among filmmakers for their strong video features and color science. The Sony A7V will need to outperform these rivals not just in specs but also in usability and ecosystem support. Thankfully, Sony already has one of the deepest mirrorless lens lineups available, which gives it a serious advantage. Final thoughts. Should you wait for the Sony A7V? The Sony A7V is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated camera releases of 2025. From the rumored sensor technology to its video features, autofocus advancements, and professional build quality, it's clear that Sony is aiming to deliver another hybrid monster. But whether it's the right upgrade for you depends on your needs. If you're a photographer who wants maximum resolution, the rumored 44MP sensor could be a dream come true. If you're a filmmaker or hybrid shooter, the 33MP stacked sensor, advanced video tools, and unbeatable autofocus may be worth every penny. If budget is a concern, the A7 IV is still an incredible option in 2025 and will likely drop in price once the A7V launches. At the end of the day, the A7V is not just another camera. It represents the future of what hybrid gear can do. Until Sony officially confirms the specs, we can only speculate. But if the rumors are accurate, this could be the camera that sets the standard for the next generation of creators.